Jealousy is a silent poison, creeping in like a shadow, often unnoticed until the damage is done. It hides behind forced smiles, fake compliments, and polite conversations. But make no mistake, beneath the surface, resentment is brewing. You might think you're surrounded by support, but some people are quietly hoping you fail. That's the cruel irony of success. The brighter your light shines, the more it blinds those who refuse to grow. And here's the real problem. Jealousy is rarely confessed. People won't tell you they envy your success, your confidence, or your happiness. Instead, their bitterness leaks out in small, subtle ways. A backhanded compliment, a dismissive remark, or an unexplained coldness. It's never obvious at first, but over time, the signs become impossible to ignore. Today, we're tearing away the mask. In this video, I'll expose 7 undeniable signs that someone is jealous of you. More importantly, I'll show you how to handle it with the mindset of a Stoic master. Calm, unshaken, and completely in control. Because if you don't recognize jealousy for what it is, you risk falling into its trap. The truth is, jealousy thrives on comparison. People see your success and immediately measure it against their own failures. They don't see the struggle, the late nights, or the sacrifices. They only see the final product, the achievements, the admiration, the life they wish they had. And that burns them up inside. What makes jealousy even more dangerous is proximity. Strangers might admire you, but the ones closest to you, the ones who see your progress up close, are the ones who struggle with it the most. Friends, colleagues, even family members. They celebrate your wins on the surface, but deep down, something eats at them. They wonder why it's happening for you and not for them. And if they can't rise to your level, they'll try to drag you down to theirs. Now, let's be real. We've all felt jealousy at some point. It's a natural emotion. But the difference between the wise and the weak is how they handle it. Some use it as motivation to improve. Others let it rot inside them, turning into resentment, gossip, and silent sabotage. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself surrounded by people whose smiles hide daggers. Jealousy isn't just some harmless feeling. If left unchecked, it transforms into something far more destructive. It breeds toxic competition, passive aggression, and even betrayal. That's why you must recognize it before it poisons your environment. So, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the 7 unmistakable signs of jealousy. Each one will help you sharpen your awareness and protect your peace. And don't skip a second, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to handle jealous people without losing your power. This isn't just about spotting envy, it's about mastering your response to it. A weak person lets jealousy shake them. A Stoic stays unfazed. They don't explain themselves. They don't react emotionally. And most importantly, they never shrink to make others comfortable. By the end of this, you'll not only recognize jealousy instantly, but you'll also know how to rise above it without losing your focus, your confidence, or your peace of mind. Let's begin. 1. They try to walk in your shoes, but they can't fill them. Have you ever noticed someone suddenly mirroring everything you do? At first, it feels harmless, even flattering. They praise your ideas, study your methods, and seem eager to learn. But then, it starts to shift. It's no longer admiration, it's competition in disguise. And the worst part? They'll never admit they're copying you. Imitation is a tricky thing. It can be a form of respect, but more often, it's a symptom of insecurity. Instead of building their own identity, they latch onto yours, hoping it will give them the confidence they lack. But what they don't realize is that imitation will never make them original. A shadow may follow you everywhere, but it will never become you. Think of an artist pouring their soul into a masterpiece. Every stroke carries emotion, experience, and personal touch. Now imagine someone tracing over it, trying to claim it as their own. It may look similar at first glance, but it lacks the depth, the struggle, the heart. That's what separates real creators from mere imitators. A man named James, a gifted interior designer, learned this the hard way. A colleague, Brian, constantly asked for his input, always eager to hear his thoughts. James, being generous, shared his ideas freely. But soon, he noticed something strange. Brian wasn't just learning from him, he was becoming him. James's designs started showing up in Brian's work. At events, Brian presented eerily similar concepts, basking in praise while never acknowledging where the inspiration came from. Why do people do this? Because they believe that by walking in your footsteps, they'll reach the same destination. But what they forget is that the journey matters just as much as the destination. Your growth, your struggle, your process, that's what makes you unique. They can copy your work, your words, even your style, but they can never copy the soul behind it. So what should you do? First, stay focused. Don't let them shake your confidence. The sun doesn't argue with shadows. It just keeps shining. Keep creating, keep evolving, and they'll never catch up. Second, be mindful of what you share. Not everyone deserves access to your blueprint. Protect your creativity like a priceless treasure. And finally, don't let their actions breed resentment in you. A lion doesn't lose sleep over a sheep trying to roar. No matter how much they try, they can never truly become you. And that is your greatest power. 2. They drag you down because they can't rise up. Jealousy is never just a feeling, it's an action. And when people can't match your growth, they do the next best thing. Try to bring you down to their level. They won't always do it openly. Sometimes it's a small comment, just enough to plant doubt in your mind. Other times, it's a deliberate attempt to sabotage you. Either way, the goal is the same: to make sure you don't feel too good about yourself. Imagine this. You've spent weeks perfecting a project. You've given it your best effort, and you're proud. But when you share your success, someone shrugs and says, "It's okay, but you could have done better." They won't say it with anger. They'll say it like it's just an opinion. But deep down, it's meant to chip away at your confidence. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing them. That's how jealousy works. It plants doubt. It makes you question yourself. And once that doubt takes root, it's hard to shake. They don't need to destroy you completely. They just need you to slow down. Because the more you second-guess yourself, the less power you have. But sometimes, it's more than words. Some people will actively try to sabotage you. Maybe you're preparing for an important presentation, and they conveniently give you the wrong time or location. You arrive late, unprepared, and suddenly, you don't look as competent as you are. Or maybe they spread whispers behind your back, suggesting that your success isn't earned, that you got lucky, or worse, that you don't deserve it at all. And if that's not enough, they'll freeze you out, excluding you from plans, pretending you don't exist, making you feel like an outsider in your own circle. Suddenly, you're left wondering, did I do something wrong? But the truth is, you didn't. Your success simply reminded them of their own failures. So, how do you handle this? First, recognize the pattern. Not everyone who criticizes you is jealous, but when someone constantly undermines you, it's a red flag. Real friends push you forward, not pull you down. If someone in your life only seems to show up when it's time to make you feel smaller, take a step back. Next, protect your space. You don't need to tell everyone your plans. Some people aren't meant to hear them. Keep certain details private, especially around those who have shown you they can't be trusted. And most importantly, don't let them shake you. Jealous people rely on one thing: your reaction. If you let their words get to you, they win. But if you stay grounded, if you move forward unbothered, you strip them of their power. A lion doesn't argue with hyenas. It simply keeps walking. You don't need their validation. You never did. Your worth isn't measured by their approval. It's measured by the impact you make, the progress you achieve, and the strength you carry. They can try to bring you down all they want, but the truth is, they wouldn't be trying so hard if you weren't already ahead. 3. They clap for you in public, but hope you trip in private. Not everyone who smiles at you is happy for you. Some wear a mask of support while secretly hoping you stumble. They shake your hand when you succeed, but deep down, they wish it were their victory instead. And when you fail, that's when their joy is real. Imagine this. You finally get the promotion you've been working toward. You share the news with a friend, expecting excitement. They smile, say, "That's great." But their eyes flick away, their energy shifts, and within seconds, they change the subject. Their words say one thing, but their body language tells the truth. Your success makes them uncomfortable. And when the tables turn, when you face a setback, that's when they come alive. They're the first to spread the news, the first to subtly remind people that you're not as perfect as you seem. Maybe they don't say it outright, but their tone betrays them. Well, I guess they finally learned they're not invincible. They don't just watch you struggle, they take satisfaction in it. Why? Because your success is a mirror, and when they look into it, they don't like what they see. Instead of being inspired, they feel exposed. Your progress highlights their stagnation, and in their mind, the easiest way to feel better isn't to improve, it's to drag you down. How do you know who these people are? Pay attention. Their reactions will tell you everything. When you win, their congratulations feel forced. Their smiles don't reach their eyes. They might change the subject quickly or downplay your achievement. And when you lose, that's when their words suddenly flow with ease. So what do? First, be careful who you share your wins with. Not everyone deserves a front-row seat to your success. Protect your energy. Share your victories with those who genuinely celebrate you, not those who secretly resent you. Second, don't let their energy affect you. Your journey isn't about making others comfortable. If your growth makes someone uneasy, that's their burden to carry, not yours. And lastly, let them go. Don't waste time proving yourself to people who only root for you when you're losing. Real supporters don't need you to shrink so they can feel big. Keep moving forward, keep winning, and let the envious wrestle with their own demons. Life is too short to dim your light just because it blinds someone else. 4. They pour doubt on your fire because they fear your flame. Not everyone will cheer when you come up with something great. Some will nod and smile, but behind their words is an attempt to plant doubt. They won't openly say they don't want you to succeed. That would be too obvious. Instead, they'll disguise their jealousy as concern, their insecurity as practical advice. Imagine you're excited about opening a cozy coffee shop in your town. You've done your research, found the perfect spot, and you're ready to take the leap. You tell a friend, expecting enthusiasm, but instead they respond, "That sounds nice, but don't you think the market is too crowded?" Then they add, "Starting a coffee shop is expensive. What if it doesn't work out?" Now, if they truly cared, they wouldn't just list problems. They'd offer solutions. They'd suggest investors, point you toward useful resources, or simply encourage you to go for it. But that's not what they're doing. What they're really saying is, I don't want you to succeed because it reminds me that I haven't taken risks in my own life. And it's not just businesses. It happens with every bold idea. Want to write a book? Do you really think anyone will read it? Planning to switch careers? That's risky. What if you regret it? Thinking about moving to a new city? What if you don't like it there? Every question they ask is carefully crafted to make you doubt yourself. They aren't testing your idea. They're testing your confidence. Why do they do this? Because your courage exposes their fear. Your willingness to step into the unknown reminds them of their own reluctance. If you go after your dreams and succeed, they'll have to face a painful truth. It was always possible. They just never tried. So instead of stepping up, they try to hold you back. So what do you do when you face this kind of discouragement? First, filter the noise. Not all advice is meant to help you. Some people are only experts in doubt. If their words don't come with real support or solutions, don't take them seriously. Second, trust yourself. The greatest minds in history were surrounded by doubters. People laughed at the Wright brothers for thinking humans could fly. They mocked Edison for failing 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If those men had listened to skeptics, the world would be a much darker place, literally. And third, protect your vision. You don't need to share your dreams with everyone. Some people can't handle it. Keep your ideas safe, nurture them, and let your results do the talking. In the end, the only regret you'll ever have is listening to the people who were too afraid to chase their own dreams. So go for it. Light the fire. And if they try to pour doubt on it, let it burn even brighter. 5. They call it too much. Because they can't keep up. Ever had someone tell you, you're doing too much? Maybe slow down a little? At first, it sounds like concern. Maybe they mean well. But look closer, and you'll see the real reason. They can't match your energy, so they want you to lower yours. Ambition makes people uncomfortable, especially those who gave up on their own dreams long ago. When they see you pushing forward, working harder, aiming higher, it reminds them of what they could have done. Instead of being inspired, they feel exposed. And rather than stepping up, they try to slow you down. Mike, a hard-working colleague, learned this lesson the hard way. He always gave 110%, always went the extra mile. But instead of encouragement, he got, "Mike, why are you working so hard? Just relax, man." At first, he questioned himself. Was he really overdoing it? But then he realized something. The ones telling him to slow down weren't working harder themselves. They just didn't want to feel left behind. And that's the truth. When people can't rise to your level, they try to pull you down to theirs. Instead of pushing themselves, they push negativity onto you. They won't tell you to quit outright, but they'll plant little seeds of doubt. Are you sure this is worth it? Maybe you're taking on too much. I don't want you to burn out. Sounds supportive, right? But if they truly cared, they'd offer help, solutions, or encouragement, not just reasons to stop. So what should you do? First, recognize the pattern. Not all advice is meant to help you. Some people will disguise their jealousy as concern. If you're confident in your path, don't let their doubts become your own. Second, own your ambition. The greatest minds in history were all told they were doing too much. Imagine if Elon Musk had slowed down because people thought reusable rockets were impossible. Imagine if Michael Jordan had taken it easy because others didn't have his drive. Greatness is never achieved by playing small. And finally, use their doubt as fuel. When they say you're going too hard, Push harder. When they say you're moving too fast, speed up. If they're uncomfortable with your ambition, that's their burden to carry, not yours. Your life is yours to live. Your goals are yours to chase. The only people who will ever tell you to slow down are the ones who were too afraid to start. Keep going, keep growing, and let them watch from the sidelines. 6. They call it advice, but it's really a trap. Not everyone who gives advice wants to see you win. Some disguise their jealousy as wisdom, offering guidance that seems helpful but is designed to hold you back. They don't attack you outright. That would be too obvious. Instead, they steer you off course, making you think they're helping when they're really hoping you fail. Sarah, an ambitious entrepreneur, had a game-changing business idea. Excited, she shared her plan with a colleague. Instead of encouragement, she got, "You should change your strategy. This is what successful companies do." Trusting their advice, Sarah altered her approach, only to waste months going in the wrong direction. Later, she realized the truth. Her colleague wasn't trying to help. They were intimidated by her potential and wanted her to stumble. This happens more often than you think. Some will tell you, "This is how everyone does it," or "You should take the easiest route." But be careful. Shortcuts often lead to dead ends. The wrong advice can make you doubt yourself, compromise your principles, or take a path that destroys everything you've worked for. So how do you protect yourself? First, trust your instincts. Before taking advice, ask yourself, does this align with my values? If it feels off, don't follow it. Not all guidance is worth taking. Second, seek advice from people who truly want the best for you. The right mentors lift you up. The wrong ones pull you down. Choose wisely. And most importantly, stay true to your vision. Success isn't built on pleasing others. It's built on perseverance and unwavering commitment to your path. Listen carefully, but always think for yourself.